absolutely. All right, talking there about Caden Honeycutt. I mean, let's get the full story right here. We go to the Revved Up Hotline presented by On Demand Shirts, and it is the winning car owner right there, the number 21 at the Snowball Derby, driven by Caden Honeycutt, is our man Larry Blount. Larry, how we doing, sir?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Man, we are doing extremely well. Most importantly, how are you doing, man? This is so exciting to see your team put this together.
I'm doing great. You know, still, I mean, me and the guys text back and forth every day with pictures of our car in Victory Lane. We kind of still don't believe it. We worked so hard for it over all the years, and when it finally happens, you don't really believe it, but it happened, you know, so it's real.
Absolutely.
So, Larry, this race has gotten so big. Obviously, with the implementation of Flow Sports covering it, made it even feel like it even bigger this year. In your experience running in the Derby in the past, how much has it changed? Just even within the last 5 to 10 years, in your mind, has it just gotten too big, or what's the, I mean, I know it's the crown jewel of a lot, but how much has it changed for you guys and your race team in the last 5 to 10 years?
Well, I mean, technology has come a long way, and it's making it very expensive. But I mean, honestly, the fields are smaller than they used to be, but they're super competitive. There used to be 80 cars for the Derby, 70, 60, 70, 80. And, now there's 50, but, you've got 36 cars. Everybody can win it. There's not just 10 or 12 guys that can win it. So like you said, 2.2 tenths first to 30th, you have to be very lucky to win. You have all the pieces in place, but a lot of things got to go your way to win that race.
No doubt about it. So, Larry, let's kind of talk about the evolution, how this race came to be. I mean, for you, I've actually called some of your races there along the East Coast, right there with you racing in that number 21 car. So it's very familiar livery right there to see out there. Kind of talk about how this whole deal came together, because I know you've got Jet involved, and then JC Umshide, another one of our Texans, comes along, and then you get this wheelman right here. How did all this happen for you?
Well, I mean, it goes way back to, back 2015, when I let Ryan lose to drive my car, and Jason's crew chief, and we won a couple races, and he won a championship. And, we've had a relationship. But honestly, I raced against Pat. Me and him, we live a mile apart. And, we're the only guys living in that asphalt race, and we've always been good friends. But, we joined up and we raced together, and we've had guys in the cars, and Caden's been in the car, and he's been in Pat's cars, and he's testing my stuff. So, Jeff Sandlin was a big advocate for Caden. We just had to put the pieces together. It's hard to get guys in your car. You have to run some races to be competitive. And we decided to put Caden in the car. We really wanted to run all the Blizzard races with Caden, but the truck deal, took precedence over that. But, he actually ran the last Blizzard race with us. And car was really good. We had an engine problem with, halfway through the race and had to drop out. But, everybody put the pieces together, including Jeff and Pat and me, to get Caden in the car, because, we know Caden and we know what he can do behind the wheel. And as Pat Jet would always say, you need a connector in the car, and that's the connector from the steering wheel to the gas pedal.
That's right.
And Caden's that guy.
That's right.
So, Larry, talk about, I've always been intrigued by the way that Five Flags does the combo races, where you do like the Southern Super Series points, and then you do the Blizzard points, and then you try to work in provisionals at the Derby. From a car owner perspective, is that extra pressure on you guys? Because, you've got 2 or 3 points to look at in a given night. Like, if you have an engine failure at a Blizzard race, it's going to knock you down in a couple of points. Or is it just one of those things? It's just another race, go out, see what happens, and just race the hell out of that car, right?
Well, I mean, it's tough. I mean, you want to run if you're not running the Southern Super Series 4 Tour, you want to run the Blizzard races because you want to be in the top 10. To get you through tech. You want to be in the top 3 at least, so that if you have an issue in qualifying, maybe that provisional comes your way. So there is some strategy in play, but this year we didn't have that luxury because we weren't in the points. So we pretty much we had to either qualify in, race in, or whatever, because we had nothing to fall back on. But yeah, I mean, you got to run those races to be competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Larry, we were talking about right before you came on, just kind of the whole makeup of that race. I mean, the Derby is the Derby. I mean, there's money on the line, the prestige, everything that happens right there. But Caden and these guys, when it came down to the end of the race, I mean, that was some really damn good racing. I mean, we've seen the Derby go completely off the rails when you get towards the end of this thing. But you had the cream of the crop right there, and these guys sure as hell did put on a really, really damn good show at the end of the race.
Well, I mean, I'm on the radio, and I was pacing. I couldn't even watch the last 15 laps. I mean, I could see the car go by, but I had to be by myself because, I mean, in the past, I've been in the pit area, and I get too involved, and I let them guys do their deal. But, JC called an awesome race. We had an awesome weekend. We did everything right. We left no stone unturned on that car. We did everything. We've been beat a lot by stuff on a car, and we learned what not to do and what to not overlook. Yeah. And we didn't overlook anything down to a tie wrap. Wow. So JC called a great race. It's a team effort. The spotter did a great job. JC made the right call at the end of the race, and Caden, of course, he got up on the wheel and did what he was supposed to do, and that's why he was in the car.
Absolutely.
So, Larry, did they give you guys 2 trophies, one for the owner, one for the driver? Because I'm pretty sure Caden wouldn't want to let that thing go with that little snowball on top of that thing. How does that work? Does he get the trophy? You get the trophy? How do they do that over there?
So I told Caden, you get 1 trophy at the track, right? So there was 2 trophies. You had the steering wheel trophy. So I told Caden, I said, after tech, whenever they put the trophies on the car, I said, those are your trophies. He's like, man, are you giving me the big trophy, the original? I said, it's your trophy. He said, you take the other trophy. Now, we, as a team, can get as many trophies as we want. So, we order the trophies and we order the rings. So I'm getting all my crew 5 flags, championship rings, and some of them want trophies, so they're going to get trophies too.
That's right.
But there's only one original trophy, and Caden's got that one.
No,
that's cool. Like the clocks at Martinsville, kind of how you can do that too. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and most tracks do that. 5 flags always does it. Nashville does it. Winchester, you can get the additional stuff.
Yeah.
Which makes it good for your owners and your sponsors, take care of them.
Absolutely. So Larry, kind of following along there on Facebook, where I reached out to you about being on our program, and thank you for doing this. Sure. I noticed that it was a few days, like you said, the pictures are more and more. How long did you kind of sit back there and just let this all soak in to what you guys accomplished? That had to have been something to where it's like you had to decompress a little bit before you were really ready to talk about what you guys just did.
Well, I mean, I haven't been on Facebook for a year and a half.
That's what I noticed.
Yeah, and so my wife's on Facebook. So when it happened, my Facebook, she said, your Facebook's blowing up. And I said, well, I'm not on Facebook. She said, I'm going to put it back on your phone. You can take it back off in January, but you need to talk to these people. These are your friends and everything. But, I mean, honestly, I'm a realist. I go back to work and I run a business. And, I've watched the Snowball Derby that we won multiple times, and it doesn't get old. No, man. I just got a text from Pat Jett. And it's the picture of the car in the shop with the banner under the hood saying champions. He doesn't believe it either. Yeah. But we just have to keep sending each other that stuff because, when we get, I told the guys the other day, when I get that trophy in my office, it'll be real.
Absolutely.
But it is real. And a lot of people deserve this race. A lot of people deserve to win it that work just as hard as we do, but they haven't. And we have, so I don't apologize for that one.
I heard that.
No reason to apologize for a big win, dude. No doubt about it. Let's talk about JC again for a second. I think that we've known JC since he was a kid. He's actually my age, and I've known him when his dad was racing super late models back in the late 80s. It's crazy to think that he's done so much stuff that doesn't get enough credit for. Do you think this is going to be kind of like a deal with Caden? Like, I don't know if you heard us describing Caden. We've known him for years too. It's like before Caden was, written down in pencil as somebody who they thought they knew. Now he's got it stamped on papers. You think that's going to do the same thing for JC? Kind of move him up in the ladder, some of this super late model and truck series stuff?
I don't know what JC wants to do. I don't know if he's going to do trucks or if he's going to do late models, but no matter what he does, he's going to be good at it. He can write his ticket. Anybody would want him. Anybody, he's a great coach. He's a great crew chief. He's very calm and decisive. I've been around a lot of them and I listen to a lot of them, and he's no nonsense. He gets the job done like if you're running a business, how you want your people to do it, he does it that way, and that's what I like about him.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very much so. And he learned that from his dad. And it was really cool to see David there, a part of that. Like Bobby was talking about David, we all go back so far. It's funny, Larry, I was talking to somebody a couple of weeks back, right after you guys won that race. And I said, man, I've been interviewing Caden since he was a kid. And they're like, well, he's still a kid. I mean, he's still very much a kid, but talk about that part, because Caden Honeycutt, to me, it's always been very impressive that he's a very young man, no doubt about it, very talented young man. But at the same time, he's going to work on that race car. He's going to be a team player. He's not one of these dudes that's going to disappear when it's time to, when the work is over. This guy just works his ass off. That's all he does. That's all he knows.
Yeah, he's a hard worker. He's very intense. We've had a lot of intense drivers, and I'll say Caden, we had Corey Hine. Corey Hine's super intense. He's locked in. He doesn't care about anything but winning and studying and being better at his craft. And Caden's just like that. But I think Caden's a little step farther because Caden has multiple disciplines. He can drive a dirt car. He can drive pretty much anything. And he wants to win so bad. He wanted to sit on the pole. He doesn't care what facet it is. He wants to be the best.
Yeah.
And we have to calm him down a little bit. JC's very good at that. And Caden's going to go a long way if everything pans out. And I honestly believe, I told him that winning that Derby, his stock has went way up.
Oh, yeah.
For real.
So I want to talk about the nature of the beast of the Derby. How many sets of tires do you guys go through? Not necessarily just for practice, because right in there talk about all the time, the Derby is a hell of a show, but that is a tire selling machine for some of those teams. Do you go through the same as everybody else, or how many sets did you go through for that weekend?
Listen, when we show up to win the Derby, we don't even care.
Yeah.
They look at me and say, how many sets are going to get us? How many is it going to take?
That's right.
I think we bought, I want to say Derby, counting the 3 sets and the qualifying set, I think we bought 10 or 11 sets.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Oh.
Hey, dude, they used to show up with 10 sets before they bought tires.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have tires on that car to do what you need to do. If you come there to run on 3 sets, you have to have 4 sets of tires for the race. You're already buying those.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do with the other sets? All right. So we, and that's not counting testing. I think we probably burned 14 or 15 sets up.
Damn.
Wow.
But
that's a lot of rubber.
It's what you want to win the Derby, or don't you?
Yeah, that's it.
We're there to win the Derby. We I laugh because they say we're the underdog and we're the little team against the Giants. Me and Pat just look at each other and laugh and go, we got 11 cars in the shop. We may not be racing like we used to. We may not have 11 now, but it's a little less than that, but they have no idea.
Yeah.
There's no expense spared. There's no budget. We have a budget, but we go to that race to win it, whatever it takes.
Well, and
that's kind of what you do.
And that was the whole thing, because I've seen Larry Blount and I've seen Jet Motorsports run some badass races in the time that I've been involved with this. So, so talk about that aspect about it, to where it was the little team that could. I keep seeing all of this about it, but just kind of knowing, your history and the Jet history and with JC and Caden now. Is this a little bit of a shift to where you guys go in and you beat Donnie Wilson, you beat Stephen Nasse, you beat Bubba Pollard, you beat all these guys? Is this kind of one of those things where it's like the foot into the ground and say, hey, it's a new day. It's a new day to where things can really happen for other teams other than the usual suspects?
You have to have all the pieces. So Pat, we don't have full-time professional people working at the shop. We have one guy.
Mm-hmm.
and then Pat works there, you know, and he has a business and I have a business. So we're not a full-time race team, and we have no sponsors. Like we fund this thing all our own. Nobody helps us. We spend all the money because we love to do it, and that's why we're there to win. But you know, if you have the right people in the right places when it comes time to race, you can do really well. And you know, we see those people, and when we show up to race, we know who to call. We get the same guys, you know, as best we can. But you know, you have to have a driver, and you have to have the right crew chief to go with the driver and the spotter.
Sure.
To make it all work. So it's not full time, so that makes it fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I got to say, it was a cool deal to watch you guys win that race. Not only just because the connection we have with Caden and JC, but that watching you guys, you and Jed over the years, you know, kind of, you know, just beating it out with the big boys and hanging in there and kicking ass. Like it was a cool deal for me and Ronnie to watch that for the Snowball Derby. So from all of us here at Texas, congratulations on that. Like I teased Caden, I said, the Snowball Derby shirt is the only shirt you want your name on more than your own race shirt. So congratulations on that deal. Thanks for joining the show. So
thank you guys. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, man. Take care. Congratulations, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, bud.
You bet. There he goes, Larry Blount. And I love that what he was talking about right there, because it was, I mean, I've seen Larry, and of course with Jet Motorsports, I mean, like he was talking about, this goes all the way back to Ryan Lucia, you know, when he would jump into those race cars. And it's like, I don't know. I do know. I do know why so many people were stunned when this group came together and won that race. But damn, you know, it was really cool to watch. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm a sentimental dude. When Caden and when they won that race, my ass was in tears.